Thank you for joining us today. I'm Charlie Kaupke of the National Bit and Spur and Saddle Collectors Association. I'm going to visit with you today about E.F. Blanchard and Blanchard Spurs. There's a lot of them out there, but yet they're very collectible. And there is some information available in a book called Cowboy Spur Maker. They're not very expensive in the $20 range, and you can find them on eBay and Amazon and other places. E.F. Blanchard started making spurs in the late 30s or early 40s. He made spurs at San Antonio, Monticello, and Datil, New Mexico, then at Seligman, Arizona. Those are the rare ones. Most of them did not have style numbers like his Yucca, Arizona, where he made lots of spurs in Yucca and numbered them 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 8. But the early ones, most of them are not numbered. A few of them are mounted, but very little. Some of them had ranch brands on them. But I will caution you on the early ones and the New Mexico addresses, there are some fakes out there. So be very cautious when you get into that territory that they're not all real. Now, the Yuccas, he made a lot of stainless steel spurs there, and they're marked with an SS. But he also made an iron spur. Some of them are marked PS for plain steel, some of them TS, and we always call them tool steel. He always puts a style number. He might put a number sign. He might put an NO period, then the style number, then the type of metal. He put E.F. Blanchard on one side and Yucca, Arizona on the other. And they say he used ARIZ until I believe it was 64 when the post office went to the abbreviated state. Then he started using AZ. So that gives you a little idea on the age. They was very popular. Wendy Ryan sold them in their catalogs. Serum Company give a lot of them away to feedlot cowboys that bought the serum from them. And people still today love using them, love wearing them, but the collectors also like them as well. And you'll pick up a pair, and he may have left a letter out of his name. He may have there could be he may have marked a number 5 and number 6, and this scares people off. But I would never be too scared about that because he was not real tenacious on some of those little things like that. So you're liable to see anything. I've seen iron bands and iron shanks welded on with a stainless weld to where it looked like pretty near they had some chrome plating left on them. So you could see about anything, and he made some special orders. And you may have a pair of number 2s with the 1-inch band. You might see an 1.25-inch band. And he has some RAL variations. So about anything went. But once again, they fit. People like to wear them. But he does have a following of people that collect them. And other than that book, there's not a lot of information on them. Now, a man named Harridge, I understand, got his equipment and made a very much duplicate of the Blanchard style spurs for a few years. They've also became collectible, especially if you get out into his home country out in Arizona country. Then in the 1990s, I believe, a man was selling mainly what I knew of them on eBay, and it's called the Blanchard Spur Company. And here's one of them right here, that in it, at a distance, it looks just like a number 8 Blanchard, which is his 8 style. And he marked them Blanchard Spur Company, Ancho, New Mexico. And at a distance, you'd think that is a Blanchard. But as far as I know, he was totally unrelated to Ed Blanchard. But they're out there. But you see them, and a lot of people will say, well, was he related? Was he a son? As far as I know, there's no relation between him. Ed Blanchard had a long time past before these came out. So, but you'll see them, and if you like wearing them, they'd be a good option to wear, and they're not going to be as pricey as a pair of Blanchards. So, you keep your eye out for them. They are collectible. They're good using products, and you're going to see all kinds of variations. But finding a pair made in New Mexico in the early days, they're very rare, and I see very few of them myself. But I'm always on the look. as we all are, who collect and search for these kind of collectible spurs. So I hope this will help you out a little bit and give you a little inspiration on the Blanchard thing. And if you're not a member of the NBSSCA, we want to invite you to be. We have a Facebook page where you can find out how to join. We also have a web page, and we put out quarterly magazines. We have a crisis fund as well as a scholarship fund. So we want to invite you to participate and help us keep the Western way of life alive, help keep the collecting of our Western heritage alive through the bits, spurs, saddles, and other Western items. Have a blessed day. I'm Charlie Kaupke. Thank you for listening.